Namaste, yogis. The light in me honors the light in you, and in the light we are one. Namaste. I hope this video finds you well. I am here to talk about the new moon that's happening at 27 degrees in the archetype of Aries. At the root of the root, this new moon is about transformation through fire. I get the image of the burning of the phoenix so that it can rise from the ashes. That's us. It will not be immediate. It will be over time, but this is the initiation and the turning point that we do find ourselves in. So you can go to astro.com and pull up your free natal chart and see where this energy is working with you. What house is Aries in? That is the field of expression with which you are going to be feeling this the most and being asked to transform. The cardinal signs are going to be feeling it also. So if you have any planets around 24 to 29 degrees or angles, 24 to 29 degrees of the cardinal signs, this is going to be some fiery lessons for you. Let's start with the Sabian symbol. Sabian symbols are channeled symbols, channeled by the psychic Elsie Wheeler in 1925, and each symbol is connected to a degree. There's 360 symbols, 360 degrees in the zodiac, and it helps astrologers dive a little bit deeper into what some of the aspects mean through these symbols. So what is the symbol for this new moon? A large, disappointed audience. You can see that on the collective, on the world stage, whether that's an economic issue, a political issue, the wars that are happening, the pain around the world, and so on. You can look at internally and what disappointment does on the battlefield inside and your reaction to these disappointments. So when disappointments come up where we have initiated, Aries, initiated something, or worked hard in our job, in a relationship, in a creative project, and so on, and we are not met with results or validation, and so on, feelings come up around this. I say this because we have Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries conjunct this new moon. And that's about wound, and the moon is about feelings. So you're being confronted with the wounding in Aries, which is around identity and self-worth and the right to exist and so on. So these feelings, when things don't meet us, that come up can be feelings of defeat, failure, rejection, hurt, and how you experience loss and your reaction to this pain. The way we react when we are not met or we don't receive things back from the efforts that we have put in, the way we have reacted in the past, we are being given a choice to do it different. How can you act different this time? So with the wound, Chiron in Aries, we may shrink, we may stop something, we just give up on something, we don't speak our anger, we don't hold a boundary, whatever it is for you. This is asking you to make a different choice. And the choice is you. You choose you first. Love self. Stand in integrity for self. I'll give you an example because this has to do with the Saturn aspect in the stellium, the collection of planets in Aries. Saturn is saying, what are you made of? What are you worth? And how do you show up when no one's looking? The other day, I taught a class for the first time and nobody came. And I could easily give up and go home. But I'm a Capricorn sun, by the way. And so my inner Saturn, which rules Capricorn, was like, no, you're here. You're going to do the class. And so I did, because I was there and I was watching and I showed up. So I did it for myself. It was a great class because I was there, right? This is an example of what you do when no one is watching, when no one shows up, or when no one gives the validation and so on, making a different choice. Okay. So the medicine for this new moon is the stellium in Aries. And the medicine might not be easy going down. I don't see any sugar, you know, that song, just a spoonful of sugar and the medicine goes down. I don't see any sugar right now, but I do see some medicine. And sometimes it's not as palatable, but it's for your highest good, right? So let's talk about the last time we had a stellium like this in Aries. The last time was the year 232. And what was happening then? We had change happening in the Roman Empire and in the Chinese Empire. They were being rearranged. And look where we are now. Look at what's being rearranged in regards to power and structured systems on the global stage and in certain countries. So I'm talking about this because Pluto has entered the sign of Aquarius and did last year. Now, Pluto is the red Kundalini energy. It is power, control, death, and rebirth. It digs all the untruth out of the way to get to the truth. So it reveals all the shit so you can get to what is real, what is integral, and what is truth, right? So in the fixed signs, when Pluto enters the fixed signs, right? Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, and Scorpio, we have people in power change and civilizations change. So we're now in a fixed sign. So when Pluto was in Taurus, we had the American Civil War and the Crimean War, and there was a lot of change that happened from those wars. In Leo, we had World War II, and there was global leadership change. In Scorpio, in the 80s, we had the fall of the Soviet Union, and the Cold War collapsed. Now, we have Pluto in Aquarius. We are coming out of Pluto in Capricorn, right? The revealing of a pyramid structure where only a few at the top benefit. In Aquarius, it flips. This is about power to the people. This is about revolution and the collective coming together as one for the benefit of the mantra, we are all one. So structure and power and history shifts, leadership shifts. This is the turning point with the stellium in Aries. New leadership steps forward. Regular people, maybe younger people, new leadership steps forward. The old guard is fading, and with these new leaders, we get new things, new structured systems, and so on. So Aries, the leader, the courageous one, the initiator, this is where we find ourselves. Now let's talk about this stellium. I have all my notes here to stay on track. Transformation through fire with the stellium. We have Neptune there. Neptune dissolves the old world and structures on the collective, but also in yourself. You trust what you can't see or prove in the moment. And the spiritual warrior rises within with Neptune in Aries. Saturn, we touched on it briefly. Saturn builds structure. And Saturn isn't going to build faulty scaffolding. It is going to demand more from you. Aries is about discipline, and so is Saturn. So you couple that. This is about long-term commitment, the long-term goal, and working every day. Chop wood, carry water. And the results are coming over time. Just like Pluto in Aquarius, the shift is over a 20-year period. Okay, we have Neptune, Saturn, Mars, the ruler of Aries that's going to touch all these planets and is super powerful right now, is igniting action. It is asking you to take action towards your desires. Mars is desire, right? This is about igniting that, initiating, and doing it. Mercury, the messenger of the gods. This is about the choice, deciding, looking at that thought pattern, the old ways of reacting to things, of doing things, speaking things. Everything is changing. And AI is going to have a part in this as we move into Pluto and Aquarius. And so how we think it, speak it, write it, and communicate is going to shift. So you cannot take the old samskaras, those negative thought patterns, we call that in yoga, the thoughts that go round and round, can't take those with you into the new life, the new you that you are building, creating new thought pattern. So you speak different, you think different, you get different. We have the sun, the witness to all of this, how we shine there. And then we have the new moon. This is about, even if you feel the fear, you do it anyway. You still birth it, make it, create it, initiate it, follow the impulse. That is all Aries energy. and it is next to the wounded healer, Chiron. Chiron heals the identity wound, which is Aries, right? Aries is self. Its mantra is I am. Well, with Chiron there, it puts a spin on things. So I like to envision Aries as a big race car. It's like penetrating. It's like, go. It's like Evel Knievel going as fast as you can toward the horizon, right? Fearless. There's no rear view mirror on that thing, only going forward. But if it's Chiron is in Aries, imagine flat tires on that pretty race car. Doesn't matter what it looks like or anything. It's just bloop, bloop, bloop. You're not going nowhere. You're certainly not going fast, right? Chiron, the wound, is created from the ages of 0 to 7. And for those who are born in the 70s, they are experiencing their Chiron return right now. Chiron has been in Aries since 2018 and settled firmly in February of 2019. So think of how you've grown since then, wherever Aries is in your chart. I went through my Chiron return. I'm slowly coming out of it. You have a Chiron return between the ages of 48, 49 to 51, depending on the orbit in your birth chart. Mine started early at 48. So you face the wound of, I'm not allowed to have what I want. So why initiate? Why try? It's, Aries has to do with our relationship to anger as well, and sexuality, right? So it's about the fire, the passion within also, and how we work with our anger and also how we work with our courage. So healing this wound, you go into it, especially when you're facing your Chiron return. Because if you go into the wound, you become the wounded healer and you overcome that thread that was always kind of in the background in your life since the wound began between 0 and 7. You can think of that time frame for yourself, like what happened to me then, right? That thread that follows you just gives you many opportunities to transmute that wound. So as you get to the 51 point where you are faced with a wound that brings up all the shit, go into the wound and you transmute it, and you become the wounded healer. Maybe a mentor, maybe someone who steps forward and shows people that it's possible to heal, it's possible to live your life the way you want, and so on. And it's done through you. The wound is where the light comes in. It's one of my favorite Rumi poems. The wound is where the light comes in. And if it's a big wound, that's a lot of light, right? So go into the light and heal yourself under this moon. So where do you hesitate? Where do you shrink? Where do you hold back? Where do you overanalyze? Analysis breeds paralysis. And Aries is about action and movement. There's no freezing. Not on a battlefield. There's no time for that. It's following impulse in the moment. Where do you second guess yourself and go down, the dumpster fire of fear of whatever the thoughts are, right? With Mercury there, we're changing those. It's about being enough, just as you are, your full self, and saying, I have value and worth. I'm okay just as I am. And when you can validate that, the world shows up a little differently in response to that. So your purpose isn't separate from what you've been through, the wound. It's actually tied to your purpose in some capacity. Declare who you are, what you desire to be under this moon, and so on. And then be ready to boldly reintroduce yourself to the world. This is your reinvention tour of self and identity. And with Saturn there, Saturn does give gifts when it leaves a sign in the next 3 years, right? How did you show up? And then, there you go. You did it. Saturn knows what you're worth. Do you? That's why all these tests and tribulations come up wherever Saturn is working with you. So the battle is within. This isn't just activation. It's annihilation of who you are not. In the snake year, we were shedding the skin. We might not know who we are, but we know what we're not. But now we're in the fire horse year. It's go time. So let everything burn. Let the relationship burn. Let the job, if you got fired, let it burn. If something happened that you've been holding on to out of fear, let it burn, because you are going to alchemize and rise from the ashes as the badass that you are. That's what a warrior is. I'm going to put the aspects along this moon in the description of this video, so check those out. And if you would like to meet me on the mat, if you would like to meet me in Galapagos, and if you would like to explore meeting me in any capacity in regards to yoga, astrology, and so on, click the link in the description of my bio, and I'll meet you there. Also, the medicine for Aries is movement. I will put a link for the warrior playlist series where we connect to our inner warrior. May that playlist assist you. And you can also look at my playlist for the Element of Fire series and step into your fire. May it serve you well. Dream big, guys, and step into your fullest power because you are worth it. Om Shanti.